Hey, what's up? This is Chatty Patty from Black Ramen Podcast with.
Kevin Legend, aka Kaiser, in the building. You heard?
So we here to let you know that you need to get in tune and listen to Beyond the Borders podcast, where they speak real facts.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely those of the host. And if you heard something you didn't like, then Gravity probably said it.
Here you go. It's an invitation to my birthday tomorrow. I hope you'll be able to make it to the party. But why?
I'll kill you.
What kind of person is he?
Mush mushy. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you for joining. It's Kid Gravity. That's right, folks. Y'all saw the title. I'm about to ruffle a lot of otakus today, because that's just what I do. I ruffle your feathers. So, quick perfunctory before we get into this. We are so close, folks, to 10,000 downloads. So, we want to thank everybody that's ever listened to an episode and either agreed with Rose Gold, agreed with myself, or agreed with both of us, or hated both of us. Thank you. We're going to plan something really nice for you guys. Not sure yet, but when we get together, we'll discuss it, and hopefully it'll be something that you'd be interested in. And we're also close to 100 episodes. So basically, we're going to be busy. So we'll let you know when details are more, what's the word, finalized. We'll let you know what we plan on doing. All right, let's get to the show. You saw the title. Now, I know people listen to other anime fans online and anime podcasts. Shout out to Black Ramen. Shout out to Hip Hop and Anime Vibes and the various black YouTube channels that talk about anime. I don't really speak about anime too much, but I think I'm going to start doing that more on here. Also wrestling and, other fun topics, because, you can always talk about politics, and politics is not always fun. I try to stay away from religion too much because I'm not that well versed on it, and I know I could piss Christians off. And anime is, of course, one of the things I grew up with, besides cartoons. Maybe one day we'll do a show called Anime vs. Cartoons. But today, it's all about a particular anime. Now, we've all heard of Dragon Ball Z. So all you stans, you guys can go Super Saiyan all you want and swear up and down you had a yellow aura around you and your hair turned yellow and your eyes turn green and your muscles bulge, whatever. Live your fantasies. We have the group that are Sailor Moon fans. Shout out to the Sailor Moon fans. Moon Prison Makeup Now. Or well, that would be more the English dub. They're like Moon Prism Makeup. And then, they go in. By the way, Sailor Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto, they got their transform song, aka the Henshin song. Henshin Da. It's fire. I almost want to do a beat on that, but that's another subject for another day. Then we got the Ronin Warrior stands. We'll even go further. The Shokugeki no Soma fans. We got the Hunter x Hunter fans. I know I probably said it wrong. Come at me later, bro. I could care less. We got the My Hero Academia people. We got the Promised Neverland folk. I don't know who's still watching Detective Conan. Shout out to you, though. You a real one for that. I even heard somebody say Speed Racer is the GOAT. Okay, fine. Whatever. I did want to kind of see Speed Racer versus Brian O'Connor, but, we'll never get that. Shout out to Paul Walker. But, yes, folks, the title, Gundam Wing. Great anime. Came out in 1995 in Japan. Lasted for a year. That's usually what Japan does. 1 year anthology on animes, and then they cut it off. Unless it's really popular. But Gundam has been a series that's been around in the manga form and the anime form since the 60s, I believe. Or 70s. And it ushered in, Grandfather Gundam. But this particular series, Gundam Wing, or they called it Gundam W, I said on Instagram, I'm going to do this show because I feel like Gundam Wing is the greatest anime ever created. And I'm sure, some people liked it, but I'm sure some people were like, this motherfucker's crazy. So I'm going to explain why. Now, like I said, this anime came out in 1995. But of course, here in America, we didn't get to see it till 2000 with the anime boom happened, and we had the Toonami block. Thank God for Toonami, and WB to a lesser extent. But this one was on Toonami in the afternoons. I think it came on 5:30. I could be wrong. 5:30 or 6, one of those. I think it was 5:30. And I mean, just watching it, the colors, the action, and giant robots. Come on, we knew that was the draw, the giant robots. But now that I'm older and I do screenwriting for a living, I look at shows now in a whole different eye, and I look at it, more storyline now. Maybe that's why I'm such a wrestling fan. Can't stand a bad storyline. It annoys me. But that's kind of why I don't really watch Dragon Ball Z anymore, or I couldn't get into Super because I just thought it was just ridiculous. And I started watching back. I started watching Initial D. If y'all need to go watch Initial D, it's on Hulu. Amazing anime. 4 seasons. Well, technically 3. The third was a movie that's self-contained, but okay. So 3 seasons. But the pacing of it, beautiful. You saw the ascension of the hero. You had your Vegeta type in Keisuke Takahashi. He became like an anti-hero. And the pacing of the story, like I said, in the action was awesome. I've watched it about 8 times. Then I found out they had Gundam Wing on there. So I was like, cool, let me go rewatch this. And I actually just finished it today again. And I swear to God, it is the greatest anime ever. So basically the backstory is it's 20 years in the future. Well, I guess they call it more like 195 years in the future after the first colony was built in space. And Earth and these space colonies have been going to war because they can't seem to coexist because, the bias. It's like East Coast, West Coast, rap beef. So the colonies, 5 distinct colonies, sent these kids, they're like mostly under 18. They sent them to Earth in these giant suits called Gundams. They're made of basically nearly indestructible alloy, and they're 5 distinct Gundams, and they sent them to Earth to try to stop them from messing with the colonies. So you have Wing Zero, piloted by Hiro Yui, a kid who took the name of a assassinated leader, and his whole mission was to champion, I guess, peace by killing all those who would threaten it. You also have Death Scythe, manned by Duo Maxwell. He just wants to show everyone that he can take lives, and he kind of serves as comic relief. Then we have Troll Barton, Heavy Arms. It's basically an artillery Gundam. All it does is shoot, basically, and it has a little blade. It has a machete type blade, but he's mostly guns and bullets. You have Sandrock by Katra, and he's basically the rich kid who He's trying to atone for what happened to his family. And he's actually Middle Eastern, which was actually a nice touch. Because, most of these characters, they either model them off of white people or they do us dirty as black folks and make us ultra black. So even though he was still white, sorry. But it was nice to say that he was from the Middle East. More than likely, I'm sure he was the J word, but they ain't going to say that there. And then we had the Chinese Gundam pilot Wu Fei. And his Gundam was called Ultron, or he called it Nataku. But anyway, they were sent to Earth, and Hero met the other main character called Relena, who was basically a politician's daughter, and she happened to see him doing his first mission, and he made a point to make sure he wanted to kill her. Now, the first episode, the ending is amazing. That's like one of the greatest endings to an anime ever. He told old girl, she ripped up her birthday invitation, said, I'm going to kill you, after taking one of her tears. It was great. It hooked. And I was like, damn, this is why I remember watching this show. So for 49 episodes, you watch these kids, basically trained brainwashed soldiers, try to develop a conscience outside of just fighting missions and killing people. And they each had either a woman or a man be their foundation. And going up against Miliardo Peacecraft, aka Zex Marquise, which is by far one of the greatest anime enemies ever, because he's, like he says, he's a soldier without a country. He's just trying to avenge his family, which we come to find out he and Relena are brother and sister who were separated. And him just trying to be a loyal soldier, and then him getting disillusioned by what's going on, and then him attacking Earth on behalf of the colonies. I mean, you guys have to watch it. Now, the reason why I say it's the greatest anime ever, because the story, even though it was made in 95, a lot of it can be used today. So it's very contemporary. But of course, Japan does that a lot. But you could even watch what's going on today in our world and then watch that anime. You're like, wow, this is almost a mirror image. But beyond that, like I said, the coloring that they used, the way they structured the battles, the emotion. Every episode, you couldn't skip it, because if you try to skip it and go to the next one, you're going to be lost. It's not noticeable, but a lot of the episodes you'll realize if you skip an episode, you're going to have to go back, because it's going to be something you missed. And the fact that it's only 49 episodes, and they had time to space it out, but they intentionally spaced it out so keep you intrigued all the time. And also it built up the natural story, because you could easily tell this story in 20 episodes. But the fact that they had to make sure they had 5 Gundam pilots, they needed to tell 5 stories. And each guy basically, outside of Hero, I would say Hero got about 30%. No, I would say about, I don't know how to divide it, because they ain't all equal the story, but Hero got most of the story because it was basically centered around him and Relena, but the other guys got their chance to shine. Like Catra had his moments when he went crazy using one of the new Gundams, and him trying to atone for trying to get back to his family and right their wrongs. Duo trying to stop worrying about death so much and learn to live life. Wu Fei trying to find his purpose. Troa, I mean, it was beautifully told. So if you ever get a chance, you gotta go watch it. My favorite character, I would have to say, was probably Catra, because I know everybody likes that rich kid who gets knocked down and he has to like scrap his way up, and you really didn't know he was rich until once you start watching it, and the fact that he was willing to go in the trenches and he was being noble about it, because we know sometimes rich people, they just go in the trenches to try to, find their way in life, or they're trying to be, they're trying to feel some fake nobility. But you could tell Catra really loved the people he was around. So he was my favorite character on the show. And he also became a quasi-leader when Hero wasn't around. Even though the way they portrayed him, he had he was the most pacifist of the 5. He was always looking for a solution without fighting. But then he realized you need balance, because you can't control the emotions and the feelings of other people. The character I loved to hate was actually a tie between Lady Un, who was part of this. She was basically like number 1 next to this guy named Trace, who was a colonel in the Earth Forces. And he's kind of like that. I won't say glory hog, but he's more of that guy that you put up as the poster boy. It's kind of like Captain America. He's like the poster boy for military. Like if you're gonna put out a military photo, you put him, because he's always wearing a cape. His clothes were clean all the time, and he talks so regal. That's the guy that you would see on that poster. So this Lady Un was his right hand. Like she would do anything for this man, and she's such a cunt. Oh, she was such a cunt. Till the end, when she turned over leaf, but she was such a cunt. She would just give out orders like it was nothing. She killed this dude as he was falling out of the plane. Now, that was a little unbelievable. You drop somebody out of a plane and then you perfectly shoot him in the head. All right, it's anime, it's Japan. A little disbelief. But Dorothy Catalonia, who came in like the later half of the anime, I hate that girl. And I saw her again, I was like, oh my God, I hate her. She's one of them war monger chicks who just loves war, and she just wants to see everybody just kill themselves for glory. And God, I hate her. We all have that anime character that we loathe. Like we just want somebody to kill them. And she's mine. I remember why I wanted her to die in the last episode, but they didn't kill her, so it is what it is. But I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, because I want you guys to go on Hulu or, one of them anime sites and actually watch it and sit down and really look at it. And Lord have mercy, you will understand what I'm saying once you watch it. I'm sure you guys will listen to it later and then say, he crazy. I'm going to stick with I'm going to stick with my Bleach. It's fine. Or Naruto, because I know them Naruto stands are going to be out there. It's okay. This is my opinion. I think it's the greatest anime ever, but you guys let me know what you think. I'm going to have this up on the podcast, also on the YouTube channel. And yeah. And thank you for listening. Definitely when we hit 10K, Rose Gold and I will have that celebration, like I said. Maybe we'll have some guests from the past come in and, we'll find out what they've been up to. Maybe we'll do some giveaway. I don't know. We'll talk, business meetings and all that. And also 100 episodes is coming soon. So probably going to have I'm going to have a big subject for that, because, there's 100 pages turned and the next 100 to go. And then the next 100 after that. So take care, stay safe, wear your mask to get your supplies, and just remember, anime is not real life, but it's a great escape from what we deal with on a normal basis. Peace.